All right, I'd like to, now that it's 6 o'clock, call to order the Town of Van Buren Zoning and Planning Board meeting for June 10th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you do a roll call, please?
Mr. Sykes? Ms. McMahon? Mr. Roman?
Here.
Mr. Bose?
Here.
Mr. Virginia?
Here.
Mr. Shachenbach?
Here.
Mr. Budash?
Here. Everyone was sent a copy of the meeting minutes. They were revised based on some comments. Is there any other comments on last month's meeting minutes? Hearing no comments, Chair entertain a motion to approve the May 13, 2025 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second. Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved. All right, first item on the agenda is a public hearing for Patricia Palumbo, 7758 Maple Road, tax map ID number 030-02-23.0. Chair entertain a motion to leave general session and enter into the public hearing.
So moved.
Second. Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? We are now in public hearing. Is there someone here to speak for the applicant? Please give your name and address.
Kathy Palumbo, 7758 Maple Road, Baldwinsville.
Okay, can you just give a summary of what you're looking to do?
Yes, we currently are 40 and we're trying to get a special permit for a C3 institutional so that we can move our day program from Smoky Hollow over to Maple Road.
Okay, and just for this is, you've had offices in this building for some time now, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hearing, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against this application? Go ahead, please stand and give your name and address.
John Hudson. I live on Thomas Drive, and we're neighbors. And it's been very pleasant there. I can't imagine that she's going to make things much different.
No, there's no plans to make any changes.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Takes good care of the property. So,
Glad to hear it. Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to speak for or against this application? Okay, hearing none. Chair entertain a motion to exit the public hearing and enter back into general session.
So moved.
Second. Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Let it be noted, we're back in general session. Can you give your name and address again, please?
Kathy Palumbo, 7758 Maple Road, Baldwinsville.
Okay, so we've had this in front of us, I believe, the last two meetings. Is there any other comments from the board?
Will all these individuals be coming in their own cars?
They'll be coming in dedicated transportation vehicles,
Okay.
or it could be a van type vehicle.
Okay, very good.
Do the hours of operation change from what you're running right now?
No, 8 to 4, same hours.
Okay. So we did receive comments back from Onondaga County. Actually, we received a response back from Onondaga County Planning, and that they basically have no position on both of those. So we are good to go there. Does the board have any other comments? All right, I'm going to read off this resolution here.
Mr. Chairman, I would just note that the resolution that I prepared does address both site plan and special use permit, so
Okay.
one and done it.
Perfect, thank you. Patricia Palumbo seeks a site plan approval and a special use permit to conduct an indoor institutional use for an adult daycare program in an existing building on property located at 7758 Maple Road, tax map number 030.02-23.0, pursuant to sections 200-21 and 200-22C3 of the Town of Van Buren zoning code. The property is located in an R40 zoning district. Pursuant to section 200-21, indoor institutional use is permitted within the R40 zoning district upon issuance of a special use permit by the Zoning Board of Appeals and site plan approval by the Planning Board. Section 200-22C3 of the zoning code defines indoor institutional use as an indoor public and not-for-profit recreational facilities such as gymnasiums, swimming pools, libraries, museums, and community centers, private and public schools, religious institutions, adult and child daycare centers, and similar uses. In support of her request, applicant submitted an application, a notification to surrounding property owners of pending action, a short environmental assessment form dated May 6, 2025, and a boundary survey prepared by Control Point Associates, Inc., dated September 12, 2018. Notice of the public hearing was duly published. The public hearing was held on June 10, 2025. Applicant appeared at the public hearing to explain the proposed adult care program and address the concerns of the board. The applicant confirmed that the proposal will not alter the exterior of the existing building or property. Only minor interior alterations were planned. Upon review by the Onondaga County Planning Board, case number Z-25-142 and Z-25-143, the Onondaga County Planning Board performed an administrative review of the site plan and a special use permit applications and returned the matter for local determination. One person, I guess it still carries. No one appeared at the public hearing to oppose the application. Support for the application was expressed. Nice call. Based upon the submissions of applicant and proof taken at the public hearing, the board resolves as follows. 1, this matter is subject to the State Environmental Quality Review Act and is classified as an unlisted action. During the May 13, 2025 meeting, the board appointed itself lead agency for the uncoordinated review of this matter. The board found that granting the requested relief will not result in any significant adverse impact upon the environment. The board's determination is based upon the zoning of the property and the operation of the proposed use without alteration to the property. The property is not located in a critical environmental area and as proposed, the use will not pose any significant impact upon the water, air, agricultural resources, or community character and growth. 2, pursuant to section 200-21 of the code, upon issuance of the special use permit by the board, the proposed indoor institutional use is permitted. 3, relative to section 200-80C5 of the zoning code, the board issues the following findings and determinations. A, because of the proposed use is allowed by special use permit, the use is compliant with the applicable intent and regulations of the code, as well as other applicable town, county, state, and/or federal regulations. B, located on a parcel zoned R40, the proposed indoor institutional use is consistent with the long-term development objectives of such area. Furthermore, the proposed use is appropriately located with respect to the existing pattern of streets and water, sewer, and drainage facilities and will not adversely affect the functioning of these facilities nor impede any planned improvements. C, the scale and design of the indoor institutional use within an existing structure to which no changes are proposed complies with the town requirements. D, the design of the site is not likely to create significant traffic issues, particularly with regard to access by emergency vehicles, has appropriate ingress and egress, and adequate parking and snow storage provisions. E, the proposed use is located, designed, and to be operated in a manner that avoids disturbance of the floodplain and wetlands and provides appropriate drainage facilities. F, the operation of the proposed use is not likely to result in off-site disturbance due to buffering due to buffering and screening and appropriate lighting. G, there are no noise, smoke, heat, or odor emissions to be produced that will have a potential to be significant. And H, the physical characteristics of the property and the scale of the physical design of the structures are suitable and adaptable for the proposed use. 4, pursuant to sections 200-21, 200-22C3, and 200-80C5 of the Town of Van Buren zoning code, site plan approval, and special use permit, allowing the operation of an indoor institutional use for an adult daycare program in an existing building on property located at 7758 Maple Road, tax map number 030-02-23.0 is hereby approved. Can I get a roll call vote? What's that? Oh, Chair entertain a motion to approve the application.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Mr. Sykes?
Yes.
Ms. McMahon? Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Bose?
Yes.
Mr. Virginia?
Yes.
Mr. Schadenbach?
Yes.
Mr. Budosh?
Yes. You're approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Have a good evening. All right, next on the agenda, Jesse Cakes, 7246 State Fair Boulevard, tax map ID number 063-04-26.0. This is for a site plan review, change of use, and area variance for signage. Is the applicant here? Can you please come up and give your name and address, please?
Jessica and Ken Doran, you want our home address or
Home address, please.
7674 Canton Street, Collinsville?
Okay, what are you looking to do?
We are looking to move our established business from 3 Marble Street to State Fair Boulevard. Southwest. 7246.
Do you have a site plan that you could clip up there and kind of explain the improvements that you're looking to do to the site? Can you grab the microphone, please, just so recording purposes? If you probably slide that right up.
Well, I don't really think we need the improvements, so I just started to figure it out. So, I mean, I don't know.
You need it for note-taking purposes. It's all being recorded.
It's easier to get a question and look at the answer. You know? I mean, what? She just wants to put signs up and open.
Okay, so there's a concern so you got a property line that cuts across basically the parking lot that if it remains that way, you have parking crossing over onto 2 lots, and that isn't allowable.
Well, because we
So-
might build on this lot eventually and then share the parking, so.
Well, eventually is down the road where we have to look at this individually as its own item. Is there a possible way that, there's 2 things. You could either move the parking from where you're showing it now and maybe move it to the back.
Well, that's not really fair to people, we can walk all the way to the front.
I understand that, but we can't have parking crossing over for both of the property lines. That's what. Or there's also a chance that you could change this lot line and combine these lots now as part of a subdivision process.
Oh, you mean you could add that to this?
That'd be another thing we would have to go through, yes.
Matter, yeah, I mean, see.
Whatever we can do to open.
In the short term, moving the parking to the back would be faster.
Right.
Okay,
I mean, that's,
then that's what we'll do.
Is the fence that's there, is there a gate? I'm
Yes.
assuming it goes through that fence, so people could access that back.
Yes.
And then the handicap spot up front, there's a concern there that people are gonna be backing out on the State Fair Boulevard from that spot. And it's really not the,
Well, there's 50 feet there. An 18-foot spot, yeah.
well, I'm not, no. There's a concern. I mean, you put any sort of a big truck in there, whatever, and they back out, they're gonna be entering into one of the busier roads in Van Buren. So is there another place that handicap spot can go?
I can put that out back too, but I mean, people, wheelchair got a long ways to go, because there's not really anywhere else to put it.
Okay.
Is
I understand that, but.
is any of that parking painted in yet?
No, we were waiting to hear what you guys wanted us to do.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if there's another place
Yeah, I mean,
that
just,
you want us to put it, we'll be happy to do that.
Is there any way to put it along the building?
the guy that looked at it said no, because it would stick out way too far.
Okay.
It'd be 22 feet.
Yep, that's fine.
That's why he said that was my best option.
Who was it, Doug Reed?
What's that?
Was it Doug Reed that put together the?
Well, Doug did the survey, but,
Who did the layout for you guys?
I don't know his name.
I don't really know.
I don't know if I have it. He said he doesn't burn dirt, his name was Kirk, that's all I remember. Oh, look.
You could even put it parallel on the south side of the building, couldn't they?
Well, that's kind of where I was going
Got a
with it.
couple of balusters there showing you could do it from the ramps up to where the balusters are, parallel with the building.
Right, instead of having it stick out from the building, it'd run parallel to the building,
Oh,
so
I see what you're saying.
you would only be, 8 to 10 feet sticking out.
Okay, we
You
can
know,
do that.
keep it close to the ramp and everything, so.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could do it on either side. Probably the right side.
So, one thing he didn't put on here, and I meant to look up before the meeting, was normally we get, what is the required parking for your use versus what you're showing on your plan? So I am not sure what the required amount of parking that you need is. It's something we can look it up here quick.
Tom, you don't know what the required number of parking spots are?
They have the appropriate amount.
They do?
So 7 plus a handicap, 8.
That seem right? It seems like it's light.
You don't have any dine-in, do you?
Nope.
It's just,
It's just
It's a takeout.
just
We
take out.
operate with like
Take out.
3 parking spots right now. and
Oh,
it's
okay, all right,
Fine.
okay.
So without dine-in, that might be pretty close.
Yeah, okay. So the other portion of this is obviously the signs, which, that's a lot of signs.
I don't have to do it that way. I just wanted to take the existing signs that we already have and move them.
Gotcha.
If you tell us not to do that, then we
Well-
have the proposal in there of the appropriate feet that we were told that we could use.
You're allowed, yeah, allowed to
And
use.
we'll just do that, that's fine.
Okay.
I wanted to put menu boards outside, but they can come in and order and then go back out. So we'll make it work with what you want us,
Where are you planning on putting that sign?
which one?
So if you followed code and you were in compliance with the code and we didn't have to go through the whole variance process, where would you put that one sign that,
Right on the front of the building.
on the front of the building that's
Yes.
facing State Fair there? Boulevard? Okay.
I'm sure you know this, but to get open, you can do exactly what you just said, put the one sign up. You can still go through the variance process to try to get the rest of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's okay. I'm patient. Well, whatever we need to do.
It is just a process, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, we can just do the one.
So Tom, 21.1 feet, does that translate right into 21 square feet of signage?
Yeah, I would say 22 feet,
Yeah.
21 feet, 23 feet, stay within that margin.
Which one of these signs would be the one that is it the
The top
top?
would be the front of the building, and then there is a pole that we were trying to put the other one on.
Up near
But again, we
48.
don't have to do that. It's an existing pull core signs. It has the lever that comes out and everything.
They have an existing non-conforming pole that's there, that is structurally sound, that they could utilize for their square footage outside of the 21 square feet. It's allowable.
So they could put a sign on that.
It's like a pylon,
Huh?
a pylon sign?
It's a pylon sign, yeah. It's a non-conforming sign that's existing.
Is there any signage on it now?
There's no sign on it now, but it's ready for a sign.
But with the change of use, we can't approve a non-conforming sign. Am I correct in saying that?
No,
I'm not correct, or you can't?
I don't believe you're correct, because the non-conforming ones are different.
Okay,
Okay, so.
it's not with the use.
No, it's no different than if the structure, the entire structure itself was non-conforming, the only time, like the building.
Yep.
The problem would be whether or not if there were going to be any changes to the structure that would make it more non-conforming. So the fact that there's already a pylon, if that's what the problem is, if that's the non-conforming part and it's there, if all they're doing is just putting the sign on the top, they're not making it more non-conforming, right? They're not making it taller or whatever else.
Maybe. It depends on if the sign that was there is continuous. It's been continuously non-conforming. Somebody took the sign down.
But left the pole.
But left the pole.
If the pylon, that's the part that's non-conforming, right?
I don't know, I didn't know we were doing signage tonight, so I actually didn't do as much homework as I would normally, but is a pylon sign allowed
It is.
in that use?
It is.
So what's the
But
non-conforming?
today, if you built it today, it'd have to be 15 foot from an easement and 10 foot from a parcel, hence it's an existing
I see.
non-conforming.
Gotcha.
I got you. Okay.
Right, so there's another option for a sign. It's almost in the same spot, but that's another option for a sign for you too. I mean,
Okay.
it'll show a little more up and down State Fair Boulevard, I guess is.
That'll, instead of putting it on the side of the building.
Well, you can put it on, you still can put it on the side of the building like you want to, because that's where an attached sign on the building is where the square footage comes into play. Codes officer is confirming that you can also put a sign out there on that existing pylon too, so there's an opportunity to get two different signs.
But for clarity, you can't exceed 21 square feet of signage total, depending on where.
No, that's not how I read the code.
Really?
Yeah, it's for what's attached
To the building?
to the building itself.
So is there a
Like Taco Bell,
There's a restriction on the sign of the size of the pylon sign?
yes,
Okay,
20, I think it's 24 square feet.
separate from the square footage on the
Separate from
building?
the square footage, yes.
Okay.
So I would just say before you move forward with putting a sign, just confirm with the codes office that you have the appropriate size sign that you're gonna put out there on the pylon or whatever.
They're all measured. I brought
Okay.
pictures.
And then if you want more, then you can go through the variance process and ask for more.
The building signs, are they banners or are they actual signs?
Actual signs.
Okay.
Are they lighted?
The one on the front has potential to be lit, yes. There's a electric outlet already there waiting for us.
They have a couple of banners up on the temporary, up on the railing for advertisement.
So is it, I'm just trying to organize some thoughts here, so you are willing to, at this moment, pull the variance application for the signs? Or do you want to keep moving on that path, but to open, you know you can do X amount of signs? Do you want to,
She wants to add one sign, at least for the menu board.
so we'd have to go through the variance process for any additional signs that you want to do on the building.
Okay.
Do you still want to proceed with that, going down the path of doing that? And we can, because you could still open and we could still go through the variance process.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know the difference. Whatever's gonna get us to open, I can work with changing signs around. I can, yes, that would be great if we could get it all done now.
Presented to it on that one, just.
Okay. I don't.
We might as well proceed with the public hearing.
Well, we're gonna proceed with the public hearing, yeah. I think just to get to where we need to get to with this.
Yeah, so
And this has to go to county too.
Yeah.
Does the board have any other comments?
What about lighting? It was brought up. I don't think there's any pole lights there, but I'm assuming there's some wall packs on the building that provide some illumination at night. Besides the possible top lit sign, are you adding any other lighting to the property? No? Okay.
James, you had a comment?
No, I mean, you know, they're gonna have to redraw the map to reflect the parking.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's.
So the
that's
question
my goal.
is, you know, can they get the lots combined by the time they get back next month and do it all in one?
It sounds like they're not gonna combine, they're gonna move them.
Gonna move
Well,
parking.
I know they're gonna move it to when it open, but if they can get the lot combined in the same amount of time, is that something you would prefer to do, or do you wanna leave the lots separate?
The real story is people are gonna park where they wanna park, they don't care what lines are anyway, you know? I mean,
Well, don't tell that with our clothes off
Yeah.
here.
When he sees people parking wherever they want, then you guys are gonna get the citation, unfortunately, but,
No.
I don't really, it just came to me today about somebody, I hadn't really thought about it yet. The Reed said it'd be stupid to combine them, but
it's really, it's up to, you know, you guys have the property. We're just saying you can't extend on both sides of that
I
property.
mean, I don't know the process to combine them, so.
Oh, it's another process, it's another map, it's a public hearing.
It sounds easier to just put them in the back, so.
It is.
do that.
It is, for the purpose of right now, it 100% is.
Okay.
You have another meeting anyway, just because we have a process, you gotta send it to county for comment. In that interim, I don't know who drew this for you, but they're gonna have to draw the parking spaces in the back, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a site plan that we could potentially approve at the next meeting.
You'll have to show the change of the handicap spot too. You'll have to show that where it's actually gonna be. You're gonna have to show the 7 spots in the back, all on that one existing property. So yeah, so whoever drew this for you, they would have to, you know, we have to have a final site plan so we can approve it. It has to show exactly what's gonna happen out there. I would also call out that you're gonna wanna put the sign on that bollard. Call out where you're gonna put the sign on the front of the building. I don't need just a call out saying, front sign 21, whatever the square footage needs to be. Just have it call out for it. But if you have an engineer working on it, they'll know that. As long as you just tell them that you gotta show the location of the signage. So Jim is right, we have to send a site plan to the public or to Onondaga County, but we need the new site plan to be able to do that. Because they'll end up commenting on this just like we are, and we don't want to go down that process, then come back and say, you can't do this. So I guess what we would ask is if you can get a site plan revised quickly, and if you want to get it back to codes, we'll be able to send it to the county as soon as we get it. So hopefully, when's the next county meeting, do you know?
In 2 days.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's the 11th.
When's the next one after that?
July 2nd. A Wednesday.
That's still before our next meeting.
Which will be for our next meeting, so we'll be good there.
And just so you know, for what it's worth, this is a state law that would go to county. This is not a town of Van Buren unique rule, just so you know.
I'll set up the GML 239, EAF, ADS, and get it ready for them. Possibly, it would just be a review with the board and not have to go through the meeting just because it's a restriping.
Correct, yeah. I mean, they're probably gonna come back just like the last applicant and say they don't have any issues, but it just, we have to check that box, as Nadine mentioned there. We're also we'll also schedule a public hearing. We need to have a public hearing for the sign variances, the area variance for the signs. So we'll schedule that for the next meeting too. We'll be able to hopefully get county comments back, have the public hearing, and there's a good possibility we'll be able to move on this in the July meeting.
One other quick question.
Yeah.
I didn't get out there, I just picked up the packet late Sunday. Is there any striping out there now for parking? Okay.
And it is asphalt, okay. Any other comments from the board at this point? Any thoughts, does anybody want to put any thought, or not put any thought, but any comments on, feelings on the additional signage? At this point?
Just so the board knows, that also gets referred to county, here again for the signage. So-
Right, but we already have that information. For the signage, for the area variance, we have all that.
That was already referred to county?
No, we have it, so we can refer it as soon as they,
No,
that's
I
what.
get it, yeah, I'm just saying both of those
Yes.
applications get referred, was all I was.
Oh, yeah. No, all good.
So they're going with 96 feet of total signage, if they cut the pylon sign too, right?
Correct. But the pylon sign, we're just gonna pull completely out, and we just have to focus.
Rewrite the signs, we'll refigure what we want for signs, how's that?
That's fine,
This is gonna be less if she just does the one we pull.
100%. You're allowed to do that one on the,
We'll figure it out. Since you guys got that.
okay.
Chairman, if they're redoing that site plan, do you want them to show the pylon on there or don't you?
No, that's what I said. I do want them to show the sign and the pylon of where it's gonna be, yes.
All right, I don't recall you saying that, so make sure you guys add that to your list.
Yeah.
No problem.
So then, Chair entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing for Jesse Cake, 7246 State Fair Boulevard, tax map ID number 063-04-26.04, July 8th, 2025. And a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Scheduled. We'll see you back here next month.
Okay,
And if you can get, once you get that site plan in, we'll get it shipped off to county.
okay.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Okay. Next item on the agenda, Belicious Creamery, 7899 Kriegel Road, tax map ID number 034.03-08.0. This is for a site plan review. Can you give your name and address, please?
Peter Smart, 7899 Kriegel Road.
All right. Do you have a site plan you can post up there on the board, if you don't mind?
I'm not supporting that.
Sorry, I'm just quickly reading. All right, what would you like to do? What are you trying to do here?
I believe we're looking to change the designation within our zone to operate a different style business from what's been there for several years.
Right. So this is a change of use site plan review. I was impressed on how fast you guys got that site plan together over the last couple of days.
People know you're hurting. So they falter.
Okay, so what I was reading here, Tom,
You quit.
somebody put a bell on it. That's fine, we'll get back, don't worry about it, we'll get back into it, I'll ask him when we get through here. So exterior wise, you've come through, you've shown the location of the parking, you've shown the location of the handicap spot, you've since installed the concrete sidewalk on either end of the driveway.
Correct.
What's the appropriate amount of parking spaces for this use?
It's a takeout joint as well. It's not, you have no seats inside.
We do, but like 2 seats at 2 tables.
Plus the outdoor ones, right? You got a couple of those outdoor ones too, on top of 3 and 2. So are we good with the number of parking spots?
It's tight.
It's tight parking there too today.
I mean, I could have 12 total.
Just a point here is it, you're changing use to ice cream takeout. Is the hair and tanning salon still operating? That's gonna be gone, okay.
You say you can have 12, does that mean they'd be around back or?
What's that? Yeah.
So they'd be on the north side of the lot?
Yes. Yeah, he didn't have those engines because they didn't have them striped.
Oh, this is just showing the existing ones?
Yeah, if you look like right here, it shows those. I just didn't have time to repaint the lines. It's been a while.
So on this site plan, we're gonna have to, well, I guess, Tom, if you're telling me that the spaces that he shows on this meets code?
I have to get back to you.
Okay. So if whatever the code requires for parking spots for your use, you'll just have to show them all on the site plan. That's the one thing.
Sure.
Just like the last applicant. How are you, so there's a concern, obviously you have a certain amount of spaces up front. The concern is how are you going to promote that there's parking in the back? So the concern is, hopefully your business does great. You're gonna have a lot of people, everybody loves the ice cream. We don't want people parking on the road. We don't want people parking across the street and crossing the road, so the biggest concern is to make sure that people are aware that there's parking in the back or where they should be parking.
Right, absolutely.
So,
I put signage up, that's not.
and maybe that's as simple as it is to put a sign that says extra
Yeah,
parking
we
in
put
the
up
back.
signs all week, because
Yeah.
I put large limestones out front,
Yeah.
obviously for protection of the curbing. And she went through today and keep her kids off the rocks, you know what I mean?
And good luck with that.
Yeah, but we got, we don't want people walking around back and going up on their deck, so we got a chain and a sign that says closed.
Okay, yep,
Different, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Hey, Mark, can I ask a question?
yeah, of course.
What is the square footage of your serving area? It's 1 spot per 100 square foot of serving.
The whole actual ice cream section is about 900 square feet.
Not your serving area, not where you're prepping, but like where you're dining. Where you're dining, yeah, thank you, your dining area.
Oh, jeez.
Half of the 900.
I'm trying to think back over the flooring part.
That's what
The town engineer has asked if 660 sounds about right.
What's that?
Having been in there, seems to me that it's about 19 by 33 feet.
Whoa.
660 square feet.
Sounds about right, we'll go with that, right? Okay.
You would need 6 to 7 spots, and one of them would have to be handicapped.
I've been in the spot and I don't think it's that big. I would say it's maybe 350.
In the serving area?
You need
Oh, yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
4 spots, okay?
Yeah, it's only,
The fact that you're showing 7 or 8 here makes me believe that you're covered. So that's, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, with those plus what you have up here, he's covered, that's why
that's a
that's.
strange area.
So when you amend this site plan, Can you mark on there a sign to direct people to park along the back there and show those striped back there as well on here?
Sure.
That'd be great.
What about signage? Are we good, Tom, with sign size?
He's good on sign, he filled out a permit, appropriate permit, and he's got a certificate of compliance with his signage.
Okay, so there's no need for,
It's got a lot of frontage.
yeah, right, exactly. So then you just said you put in the boulders for protection of the seating area from the parking? Okay, because that was one of my concerns originally was,
And it has white signs.
yeah.
Boulder too.
And you installed the sidewalk to your property line?
Yes.
And the attorney's office is shy of from what I could see, he's shy of the property line with his extension he did a few years ago. Okay.
So we have a gap?
We do. There's a gap between Walgreens and the layer too.
This one.
I'm working on that,
Okay.
I'm working on that.
And then the new lawnmower place has got installed there yet?
Yes, Tom's gonna touch base with
July
them.
31st, I'm working on that as well, it's on my agenda.
Okay, did you add any lighting at the parking lot or at the building?
The only lighting is existing, there's like a LED, and then we got the one by the front door, which we just replaced with something that was a little bit brighter.
Right.
And then there is one under the overhang at the serving window,
Okay.
which would be right where you see that purple line,
And that one on the side that goes up.
which is more than we had before. I actually took pictures, but I forgot to bring them.
And what do you think your hours of operation are gonna be?
12 to 9.
12 to 9.
Noon to 9?
7 days a week?
Tom, I was reading an email in here, did you discuss this application with county planning? And that,
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna need you.
You're fine. No, I have a copy here, I just wasn't
Yeah.
sure how this all played out.
Rachel from county said, I sent this referral over to the town, if you say, it's a requirement to see this because of the lack of external changes, then I would like the site plan review to be exempt. So they've exempted this site plan review.
And we have documentation to that.
I got documentation on that from an email with Onondaga County Planning Board.
That's odd.
That is
Definitely
very,
within 500 feet.
I think the part you may not have been able to hear is they said there weren't exterior changes, so they were satisfied because of the lack of changes.
The lack of external changes.
Yeah.
okay.
So it
about
wasn't
signs?
that, if they had changes proposed for the exterior, then they would be reviewed.
So it's similar to the last business, signs.
Yeah, he said they're
They said
good.
they're compliant.
Sounds good.
The signs are good, so they have a menu sign, they have this sign, and they have the sign over the awning, and they have 300 square feet.
The menu sign, I don't see anything about a menu sign.
Well, it's on his drawing
Site
here,
plan.
it's on his site plan, I don't have any dimensions on it.
It's just gonna be an A-frame.
Yeah, he would like a sandwich board, it's something that he takes in and out.
Okay, so it's not
Well,
gonna
it's
be,
not attached to the building.
It's not attached to the building, it's something that you
Okay.
can take in and out.
and then what's the dimensions of the signs that are up now?
They're much smaller than they need to be there. If you look at the previous signage, it's like half the size. What it was before.
I don't know how you would gauge it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to get your protractor out.
You create a rectangle over the sign. You create a rectangle over the
I
sign.
don't know what tractor.
That's good.
I don't know the lawn tractor.
Now, as long as you say it's good, then it's good.
You don't have to go to a public hearing.
And they're not lighted, right? They're not lighted signs, right?
We can go.
And is the barber pole coming down or not?
That's what I'm saying. I was expecting this because I thought it had to be.
No? Okay.
We might just change it to dark brown and light brown.
No,
So it
Unless
looks
there's
like
a
Yellow
ground
and
that's
red.
board, I don't see any reason to store this.
So is this Crimson King maple your tree?
yes.
That is not a crimson
It's
king maple,
tricolor.
that's a tricolor beech tree.
Tricolor.
Okay,
Isn't that great?
that'll have to be trimmed up because
Sure.
as short as I am,
We
I was
did once
brushing.
and they grew that down, it keeps growing.
Well, I trimmed it pre-leafing, so once the leaves came out,
Yeah.
you know,
here's a
and
couple
and now is
of-
actually a great time to do it, just, not that I really want to do it now, but.
Once all the sidewalks are complete, I assume people will use them, who knows?
Yeah.
Here, that's.
They use ours now.
Well, let's start with this. I'm gonna start with the seeker. The board does declare itself lead agency. Proceeding on an uncoordinated review of this matter is an unlisted action. And after reviewing the short environmental assessment form, does hereby render a negative declaration, finding there are no adverse environmental impacts to be realized. End of motion.
Moved.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor? Against? Carried. I don't see any reason not to vote on this evening.
Just one other quick
Yeah, go
question.
ahead. No?
That, so you're using boulders as ballards for cars. That one that's in front of the handicap spot, is that anchored down at all?
I can anchor them, that's not a problem.
I'm just wondering, since it's in front of the handicap spot, it's a pretty small stone. I'm not sure it's gonna stop anything.
Okay, I can drive a 10 through there if you want.
I don't know, it's something that I think we need to look at.
That's fine, that's
If
absolutely
he's
fine.
fine with that, then yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be best to drill a hole, pop a rebar through it, and
Yeah,
that way if someone hits it, it's got some resistance.
I agree.
I think we're looking for reasons to go ahead and approve this. There is some stuff lacking on the site plan, but I don't want to necessarily hold up the process. I think a few small conditions that, like, we don't have sizes on these parking stalls. None of this is painted right now, is it? Or is
It's
it?
up painted.
Yeah, the stuff out back too?
Yes.
Well, except for the additional spots.
Okay.
Which you don't need, but you don't need those, so you're,
Right.
I mean, you could paint them in,
Yeah.
but to meet code, you're covered, so that's
Right.
covered on the site plan. But you should show the dimensions of the parking spaces.
So,
10 by 20.
Spaces.
yeah.
Yeah, the
it's part of
size of them.
They gotta meet the requirements of the town for size.
Yeah, that's no problem.
So probably just put a small condition that you put the size on here and resubmit it to the code enforcement department.
And the sign is a condition for directing people to the back along the north boundary line for additional park.
Sign for additional parking?
And James's condition on the stone.
Yeah, and if you have any other small stones like that, I would anchor them as well, just to be on the safe side. That way it protects y'all. If, God forbid, someone hits the wrong pedal.
That's why I wanted those over there.
Can I get one space reserved right up front when I show up?
What was the other thing?
I'll declare, I'll read it out here too, but yeah, the dimensions of the parking spaces was the other one. Pin signs in between parking.
That one ain't moving. This one here.
Yeah. I got a bunch of these in my yard, and they're pretty solid, but a carpet,
Yeah.
that one probably not.
Any other comment, question, or conditions?
Are
Okay.
you making hours of operation a condition, or were you just asking for curiosity?
We were just asking for curiosity.
Just making sure.
It's not a special use.
I know, just asking.
Well, it depends on how how long she wants to work, because I know Peter's not gonna be up there slinging ice cream.
No, I'm
Yeah.
done.
I'll be down there.
Yeah, you'll be serving.
I'm done at 2 or 3 o'clock. I have a bunch of teenagers working, so they're already trained and everything.
All right. Chair entertain a motion to approve a site plan for Belicious Creamery at 7899 Kriego Road, tax map ID number 034.03-08-0, as shown on a stamped and signed drawings, site plan, dated June 6, 2025. End of motion.
No, I would say, wait.
Oh, no, sorry, got
Wait, and I would
conditions.
say, wait, and I'd say also just prepared by JRL.
Oh, sorry, yes.
PLLC, and then list your
Yes.
subject to.
Thank you, yep. As created by JRL Land Serving PLLC, with the conditions that a sign is shown on the site plan for additional parking in the back of the building, that the stones placed in between the parking and the tables in the front of the building are pinned, and the site plan shows the dimensions of the parking spaces shown on the site plan to be turned back into codes office for approval. End of motion.
So move.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved.
All right. I'll be down tomorrow. When do you think you're open? You think you're open?
We're all coming for ice cream.
Yeah, we're coming.
We'll be there by 7:30 tonight.
We'll be there before that.
Oh, we're gonna move right along.
Yeah, all you gotta do is get it back into codes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Sounds like a plan, Tom.
Get those things done and we'll get ours right away.
Okay.
Thank you for going through this. I know it's been a process. I appreciate your guys' understanding.
Tracy, Friday or Saturday?
I hope you're right.
We'll be in touch.
I'll do this.
You did want to sample, make sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, let me know.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. I think.
Good job.
Oops, I'm on
Thank
TV.
you.
See you Friday. See you on Friday.
Okay.
Too much steak.
Whoops, I'm sorry. Must walk.
I used to get a haircut there all the time.
Yeah, I did that for 20 years.
Nice people.
Yeah.
All right, last item on the agenda.
Yeah.
Lost my agenda. Yeah, it's T-Mobile, 103 Button Road, tax map ID number 038-02-07.2. This is for a site plan review. Anybody to speak for the applicant?
Jenny,
Anybody?
are you here for the
Jenny?
applicant? No.
Are you here to speak for or against this applicant?
That should be Button Shores Road,
Thank you.
not Button Road,
It's Button Shores.
Button Shores Road.
Okay. So I'll just speak up very briefly here. This is very similar to a recent application we had. The reason though that this is still before the town planning board ZBA this evening is because they are adding additional antenna to the tower. They're putting in some additional equipment, shelter or whatever within
The generator.
generator at the base. And there is statutory law at the federal level that says you really can't deny this, but where we do have the ability to still be able to say we need to review it, what we discussed at that pre-agenda, in our recent pre-agenda meeting is that because they are adding stuff to the tower, you still need to make sure that it's structurally sound, right? You can't just say, we don't care, it doesn't matter, do whatever, and all of a sudden you have an issue. So there is no question, because they had already submitted documentation confirming the structural integrity of the tower to take on this additional facilities.
Hardware.
So this is really just kind of a routine rubber stamp, but not knowing if the next applicant may or may not be as diligent in their submission or in the review, you just like to make sure that we go through this process for all applicants and dot our i's.
So at the pre-agenda meeting, we did request the spec sheet for the generator as we did in the past applications to make sure that it's quiet.
70 decibels is what it looked like.
They have submitted it. I haven't.
Yeah, it's 70 decibels at full load.
At what distance though? Right?
70 decibels at a location,
Yeah.
and then at the property line, it's,
Yeah, usually they'll give it like 100 feet too. I don't know if it is.
It didn't say that, it just said
it's
70
within,
decibels.
it's within the sound limitations.
I mean, most of them are not, they're a lot quieter than they used to be.
Yeah, even after the last 5 years too, or 10 years. My neighbor's is pretty loud.
Oh, yeah.
He does this test thing at, like on Saturday, like the middle of the afternoon, like early, like mid-morning, and all of a sudden this thing goes on for 5 minutes. Sorry,
Actually,
off topic.
It's page 4. If you flip 4 pages in, it's on the inside of that page is where the specs are. Kind of in the middle, sound emissions.
So all the equipment is gonna be it's gonna be housed in the existing footprint. They're not building outside of the existing footprint, similar to other applicants. Generator, as mentioned, it's quiet. They produce the structural report. And you have a full set of drawings in your package that have been signed and stamped. Any comments? And this is surrounded by a wooded area, right? I mean, it's pretty wooded up there.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
remote.
So I gotta do secret for this too, I'm assuming.
No, what I would do is, ratify and reaffirm your fire secret determination.
Well, because it was,
Or it's type 2 under the New York State regulations, so you can do either.
we're gonna go with what I have right here, as a type 2 approval, right? We can do that? We can do the type 2 approval? And declare.
Type 2 is simply an acknowledgement of what I just did, because type 2 is automatically considered to have no negative environmental impact under part 617.5 of the New York State
But we
regulations.
still have to have a motion.
No.
You said no to me about 5-6 times already. They're pretty direct. I like it. I like it. All right, the chair entertain a motion to approve the site plan for T-Mobile, 103 Button Shores Road, tax map ID number 038-.-02-07.2 for improvements for existing additional hardware on an existing cell tower and additional generator enclosed in existing footprint as shown on the site plans dated, give me a date. 5, what is it?
May 9th, 2020.
Yep, thank you. May 9th, 2025. As shown on sheets T1, GN1, GN2, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, E1, E2, E3, and S1, as produced by Donald William George. And a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing first and second, any comments?
Did we reaffirm seeker? Or were you guys just arguing about it? I got so caught up in you two arguing with each other, I had not, did we reaffirm it?
Type 2.
Oh, type 2, okay, never mind, no impact, sorry.
I heard one, did I hear a second?
Yes, Roman.
Hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Approved. Chair entertain a motion to close
Time out.
Close it.
the Town of Van Buren Zoning and Planning Board meeting for June 10th, 2025.
Move.
Hearing, just
Second.
hearing first and second, any comments? Hearing no comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Have a good evening, everyone.